Your job is draining you of energy and you don't have much time. And investing in yourself is the single best investment you can do. But it can be a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, but that's the truth. So swallow it or spit it out. That's yeah. If you can't miss a couple $100 a month to invest in a new business venture, then just stay at your 9 to 5 and just do what you do. Yeah,
that's harsh.
But that's the truth. Like, if you're not able to take that risk, you then never start a business, because business is all about having risks and things don't always go your way. So if you're hating your job right now, good for you. It is like.
Ron, welcome back to the computer world.
Yes, you too, George. Feels different. How different?
It does.
It feels also like home, because we've done it for a year.
And we are home.
Yeah. How does it feel to be home?
It feels good, man. It feels good. It's minus 18, feels like minus 24. Swimming every day, as usual, the basics. Feels good. My body is craving it. How are you?
You don't miss the hectic city, the honks?
Oh, no, I don't miss that at all.
I get it. Like, that part was not the best. Yeah, I'm home as well. It's cold and windy here. I don't like it, if I'm honest. So I'm looking forward to be moving again soon. But I have some things.
That was quick.
Yeah. Like, man, I don't know. Like I told you a couple times, like I went for a run like 2 hours ago, and like every time around 12 o'clock, people go for a walk, get their lunch, and they have like these passes on their pants so they can come in their office building. You know, and I just see the
very, very motivating.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. I just want a better environment. Like, of course, these people need to do what they want to do. Like, I don't blame them or anything. Like, if they're happy, sure. But the environment doesn't motivate as much here, and I'm also working from home, so I'm really eager to go to a next level and move somewhere else, get more inspired, meet new people. So yeah, I'm looking forward to like what the future will bring, because now also with selling my e-commerce company, which is finally done, the warehouse that's finally sold. So I'm almost like done here. Basically, I don't need to be in my city anymore.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It doesn't feel like it's finished because it's going on. It went on for like 6 months. So but I'm looking forward to the future. So so I'm a little bit less. I'm still happy at home, of course, but I'm looking forward to also go to different places.
Yeah. Dude, it's so funny you mentioned that, because I was just, I saw a friend, okay? And he mismatched a little bit the time that we were supposed to meet. And basically, when we met, he had to be on a work meeting, but he could take it remotely. So we went for a walk. And I was like, first he put the headphones in, and I was like, nah, dude, come on. I wanna listen to the meeting as well. Can I? Like a work meeting, you know? Oh yeah, for sure. So he put on a loudspeaker, put the phone in his pocket here in the jacket, and then we just went for a walk. And it was a meeting they held about salary increase.
Ooh, 2%, 3%? How much?
It's the funniest thing ever. It is crazy. It is very crazy. Like, if you guys are in that situation, I really feel.
Why?
I really
like
feel
what's
for
being
you.
said? Like I was not there. So what was so crazy about it?
God. Okay. So first, for 1 hour, they're doing like a presentation type thing of, you know, how we're going to increase the salaries this year, right? So then there's like common increase, then there's like a targeted increase, okay? So the common increase is what everybody gets, right? So the common increase, I think it was something like 5.12%, right? So, or like 4 or 5%, right? So if you multiply that by, you know, let's say a 4,000 euro salary, that's like 160 to 200 euro increase in salary before tax.
Yes, and inflation already is happening, basically. So it's like at 0.
And inflation is happening. So after tax, you're probably getting like an extra 50 euros a month. Yes. So we started joking. Wow, bro, you can afford to take me out to a sushi restaurant
one time a month. Yeah, but that's the hard reality, you know. And Like I also have friends who like finished college, like or like high school. I don't know how it's called in English, but they're like first 2 years in, like working full time, and then you start at the
What's it called in Dutch?
like nee, niet de middelbare school, hogeschool, yeah, high school, I think, like
Okay. Okay.
university, basically.
Yeah.
Then you go to your 9 to 5 job, like oftentimes what we people do, and then you're starting out, so you're a junior, you know. And then after 1 or 2 years, you're like a meteor and then a senior. But yeah, becoming a senior is like, yeah, it takes like 10 years. But like being
Oh.
going from junior to meteor, your increase is like maybe, I don't know, depends on the company, of course, but it also increases like just a little. But first you need to like prove yourself for a couple of years. Like it's so slow. Like, of course, if you enjoy working at a certain company, if you like the safety, go for it. But if you want to like build up wealth and like not be dependent on your salary from just your job, yeah, it's not the way to be like independent and get freedom.
Another thing, I agree with you. Another thing that really stood out to me is the corporate language. Dude, I now understand why I can't be in that environment ever. Ever.
Why not?
Ever. I swear to God, I'd rather sleep in a ditch or live
Why?
in a tent and eat nothing, starve myself to death. Dude, corporate language. I was listening to the meeting and there was like a woman, like she was explaining something, like an answer to a question. She was talking about like competitive forces and the pressure from the market and da 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 da. And she makes it sound like she takes a simple idea and she makes it sound so fancy, so like, and I'm like, why? Why can't you say this like I'm
I
fucking
know why.
5 or 7 years
It's
old?
like we do the same. We talk about RPM, search volume. Like it's just easier
No,
to say that
these
way.
are technical. These are technical terms. RPM and blah blah. These are technical terms. But we communicate our ideas as simple as possible.
Yeah.
Hey, prices are increases. There is more competition between companies, so we can't increase the salary so much. That's a simple idea that can be said in like 5 seconds, right? They were taking an hour to put it nicely so people are even more confused and
Yeah. But
competitive
also, like
forces
the
and
girl
this and
telling that, or the woman telling that, like she's probably also like, oh, I want to have a good image of me, like portray a good image of me that I know what I'm talking about, and like those words. It's
yeah.
just it's a
I don't know,
game.
for some reason, yeah, for some reason I just got this sense that it's like that corporate world, like they talk not straightforward.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like when I'm talking to someone, when like either on a call or with someone in real life or like with you, like I'm very straightforward. I'm like, this is what I want. This is what I can offer you. Like da 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 da. Just straight up. Like no BS,
Yeah,
no
but yeah.
walking around, no beating around
But
the
that's not
bush.
possible in a
Just
corporate
like
world because you have so many like people that rely on you or people that have opinions about you. Sometimes people are also
yeah.
scared to do things in a different way because then they will like be looked at like, hey, why don't you do it the regular way? So that's like the whole thing as well. It's like the social pressure just to do it how everyone is doing it, and that's probably with those wordings.
Anyway, so when she announced that they are increasing, that the increase is going to be around 50 euros after tax, we just started laughing. We were like,
But
yep,
how was your
yep,
friend
let's
then? Like,
go.
what was his response? Because it's his job.
Yeah, nothing. He didn't say, I mean, what can he say?
And maybe
Okay.
he's like, fuck this shit as well. I'm gonna do something else. Like that's a possible reaction.
Well, he has things that he needs to do in his life, like pay bills and take,
And he didn't
I
ask
don't know,
you like, hey
mortgage.
George, can you help me with YouTube?
Well, that's a good thing that you said here, Ron, because I think that this podcast will be titled "How to Reclaim Your Freedom."
By the way, people, this was not set up. I promise.
This was this was not set up. I swear to God, we just started freestyling, and then we just go off. And the intention here is going to be how to reclaim your freedom, right? So the reason I wanted to start off with the stories because I had the idea on the walk actually that it would be a cool thing to address in the podcast as well. First, start with the story, right? Perhaps some of you can relate to this, so then we can start talking about how to reclaim your freedom. And I really started thinking like, okay, if someone has a mortgage, if someone has bills, right, and they are relying on this salary, like Naval Ravikant said that, this is like the two worst drugs are heroin and a salary, right? So how do you break free of this, Ron? How do you do it
Well, at least, yeah,
realistically?
of course. But like, if you have a 9 to 5 job and you're earning pretty decent, you can at least save up some money every month. Like when I was working my 9 to 5, when I was 21 or 22, I think I was earning maybe 2,500 net a month
Okay.
after taxes. I could at least save 500 a month, at least, because eventually you also want maybe to go on holiday. You want to buy some nice clothes, go out. I don't know. So
Yeah.
you will always have money to save up. I will
Sure.
put money aside, like at least save like a couple thousand of euros or dollars. And yeah, like I am biased right now with YouTube because like YouTube search, what we do is very easy to automate or to outsource mostly and spend like 2 to 3, 4 hours a week on it. And it's compounding over time. So that's what I would do like next to my job because I know like it won't be as heavy on your mind, maybe in the beginning,
Yeah.
but once the system is set up and you know how to find keywords, it's easier and easier. And basically, if you continue doing that, like upload videos for a budget of $500 a month, upload 100 videos a month, 1 year from then, you should be earning at least 3K a month. So you are replacing already your income with YouTube, and then you have your freedom back.
I agree. And I think that's a very valid point. 100%. And obviously, we are biased
Yeah.
towards YouTube. Duh. Okay. I already hear you guys saying that, oh, yeah, of course they're going to talk about this. But what Ron is saying, and by the way, this is for a lot of people, like your job is draining you of energy and you don't have much time, right? So then, on the weekend or after your work on the weekday, you just want to chill. You don't want to do more work because it's draining. Being on those meetings is draining. Doing the
You
actual
also have
work
maybe
is draining, right?
family or
So
friends you want to see, like you can always grind.
exactly. You also have friends and family, and it's important to balance the social and this, right? So there are two components to it, okay? Depending also on your risk level, I feel like. So if you, for example, have a slightly more risk, like you're more comfortable with taking a bit more risk, financial, right? Then what Ron said is
Why is
is
that? Why is that a
ideal.
risk?
Well, it's always a risk. Financial investment is always a risk. It doesn't matter what it is,
Yeah, but
right? Like we gotta be.
true. But if you're saying like I now have a 9 to 5 job and I want to replace my income with something else, you need to take risk. Like otherwise, don't even
Of
think about that
course.
stuff.
But what you just said, you need to take risks, right?
Yeah.
So it is a risk, right?
Yeah.
And you need to be able to be comfortable with taking that risk, right? But the thing is, not everyone is comfortable with taking even that
Yeah.
risk.
Then,
I know you.
yeah, but then,
I know
yeah.
you have no problem taking
No,
risk.
but then if people are not taking that step to earn money outside of their job, they're just too comfortable. Then they don't really want it. So it's easy for me.
Okay, well that's easy. That's easy for us to say
No, but
that,
it's true.
right? Okay, but let's say that if I was in that situation, right? And let's say that I was not like comfortable with, spending 500, and especially like if I don't know like what I'm getting into, and like there's a learning curve and I'll need to learn a lot, right? If you find this kind of business model, let's say YouTube search, right? If I knew what I know now, right? And I didn't want to invest money, what I would do is I would do videos myself.
Takes a lot of
So,
time.
because we're always talking about two things, right? Two energy sources, either money or time. So, look, I would say this: if you don't want to invest money, it's okay. You don't have to. But guess what? If the pain is motivating you enough to get out of that, where people are telling you that your salary is going to increase by 50 euros this year, right? If that pain is strong enough, you're going to find one of those two things. Either you're going to find time to make the videos yourself, which with the proper strategies of what we teach with the search and everything, will generate views, will generate traffic, will rank, will attract eyeballs and all of that, right? Everything we talk about. Or if you're like, if you earn a good salary and you don't want to put in more time because you already are tired from work and you just want to kind of start creating, right from the get-go, you feel a bit more comfortable taking that risk, then you should start doing the whole, hiring and that thing.
Yeah, like I agree. Like if you're already working a 9 to 5, you are already working 40 hours a week. Maybe you're also like commuting to work. So maybe in the end it's 45, 46 hours a week, with including commuting. Then I would never make the videos myself. Like if you can take a risk for a couple $100 a month, like you can also start with $200 or $300 a month. Like, what else are you going to do with that money? If you're going to buy stocks from it, which is even a bigger risk because you need to have like sense of the stock market, sense of the companies that you're investing in. ETFs you can buy, okay, but the return on investment is way slower. Like if you're doing it properly, maybe 10 or 15% a year. Like with YouTube, we have shown on multiple.
Dude, that's a lot. 10,
Yeah,
15% a
I know.
year.
Okay, let's say 5%. Like, and then you basically barely make up for the inflation. So we have proven over and over and over with the videos we are publishing on YouTube that your ROI can literally be like 60, 50 times. Like you make a video for $3, it earns you like $300. Of course, not every video, but eventually you're spreading out the risk.
So then it averages out, right? It sounds sensational. Oh, this video is making 50, 60%, but not every video ranks.
Of course, but it will still be more than 5%
so then
a year.
The winners make up for the losers, right? But still, because it's your input, you can, if you get good, you can achieve a higher return on your investment than if you were investing into, let's say, an index fund. Like that is true.
Yeah. But
you can have a higher return with a business. That's what it's all about. Like beating the market requires you to become good at your craft.
Yeah. And eventually, like, we are saying like invest a couple $100 a month in videos, but you're not just investing in videos, also in yourself, like earning your first dollar online, building up a business, because a YouTube channel is a business. You hire freelancers, people rely on you. So you're also building up your own personal skills, which is maybe a more valuable asset than the YouTube channel itself. But like, I'm very bold in this stance. Like if you can't miss a couple $100 a month to invest in a new business venture, then just stay at your 9 to 5 and just do what you do. Yeah.
That's harsh.
But that's the truth. Like if you're not able to take that risk, you then never start a business, because business is all about having risks and things don't always go your way. So that's normal. Get used to it. And otherwise stay comfortable in your 9 to 5, which is fine too. But that's like my stance. Like, yeah. Yeah, but that's the reality. For me,
get whipped.
That's how you see it, but for me,
damn. No, I like that. Like I agree, right? I agree with you, but it can be a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, but that's the truth. So swallow it or spit it out. That's yeah, but that's the only way how I think it works. That's how I always operate, at least.
Hey, quick interruption. Do you want to learn how to make $5,000 per month on YouTube without showing your face or making any of the videos yourself? Well, if that's the case, I've put together a free video training where I show you step by step on how I make $5,000 per month so you can replicate it and do exactly the same. Click the first link down in the description of this episode and check it out. All right, back to the podcast.
Yeah, by the way, you guys, Ron has zero anxiety. I've never met a person who
have anxiety, but like, it depends on which area.
No. You have like, maybe you have, but I've never met a person who has less worry about anything. It's like, oh, house is on fire. All right, no problem. Gotta fix that.
Name an example.
Gotta fix that right now.
The thing is, if it comes to business, you always find a solution to fix it. Always. If it's not within a week, you'll fix it within a month. And it's mostly because I have so many shit already going on like the past year. So I'm not surprised anymore. I have a roof above my head.
Nothing.
So I can pay for my bill.
Nothing in you.
No, exactly. You get used to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I always say it's kind of like what's it called? Colossus?
I don't know. I know what you mean.
The things when you lift, on the arms that you get here. The same thing you basically develop in the mind. Like if you've never taken risks, then it will be very, very uncomfortable in the beginning. Your mind is going to be playing tricks on you everywhere, and all the small things, like we say, a fly looks like an elephant, right? If you put the lightning in a proper way, the small fly can look like a huge elephant on the wall. So it's a lot of the times, Mark Twain also said that, I had many worries in my life that have never came true.
Exactly. You're making things bigger in your head while reality is totally different. And if you think about it, like we live in Europe, what's the worst thing that can happen? For me, the worst.
Bankrupt.
Yeah, and then you go back to a 9 to 5. Like if you have at least some skills, you will develop skills when you work on your own business. People want to have you in your company because you're unique, you're driven. So you'll always back up again. Like you will never end up on the street, never.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think that's actually a very interesting point you just said there about, you're building your own skills, right? So even if everything goes to shit, you go bankrupt, but don't worry, it's nothing, like, it's not bad, whatever. You go bankrupt,
like, congratulations, good on you. Like you learned something.
Yeah, but okay, sure. Okay, you go bankrupt, then what? You go back to your job. But when you took the risk, you've developed skills in yourself, all kinds of different skills, marketing skills, sales skills, whatever it is. So now when you go back into the market, you are more valuable as a person to other companies.
Yeah, 100%. Like companies like people with opinions and views on things. Like good companies don't want people that just agree with everything and they just do the assignments for what they're being told to. They want like individuals that can think for themselves and that can like help achieve the goal that the company has. So it will only benefit you.
I agree. Warren Buffett talks about, you got to invest in yourself, right? And that's so true. He took a Dale Carnegie course on public speaking and effective communication when he was in his 20s, when he was just starting out, because that was an area that he lacked. And he said that was the single best return on investment that he has ever done.
Yeah, like
investing in yourself.
Exactly. Otherwise, we would not be here as well, or we didn't go to Dubai, or that kind of stuff. Like
it's crazy how there's this chain of events happening. I think we've talked about on the previous pod when we were together of the chain of events that kind of like this leads to this leads to that, and you never know how it would lead. But yeah, investing in yourself is the single best investment you can do.
Yeah,
and you will develop the skills, and you will get. At the beginning is gonna suck a lot. It's gonna feel very bad, but if you just stick with it and you persevere through the pain, we should rename our podcast to like a stoicism podcast.
Yeah, why? Like I think it's just how you should think. Like it's important to have pain. Like when I had my 9 to 5 job, I fucking hated it, and that gave the fire in me to build my other company. Yeah. So if you're hating your job right now, good for you. It is like you will, but it's the only way to that you will break free. Like if you're comfortable with it,
I agree.
You just stay, and there's no urgency.
It's like that. You remind me of that guy. What was his name? Jocko
Willing. Yeah, he's like, if there's a problem, good, or something like that. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, like, your girlfriend thinks you're a loser. Yeah. Good. Pick up the phone and dial. That's Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, but like some things you can like make. Like sometimes you also just make things simpler than it is. Like don't overcomplicate stuff. Just start out or not. Yeah.
I think the natural kind of tendency, like, okay, you need to understand this. The natural tendency of humans is to move away from pain and towards pleasure. Okay, but there's a caveat. It's tricky. Okay, because having whatever is comfortable or whatever is pleasurable in the short term is usually very harmful in the long term, and what is like painful in the short term is usually beneficial in the long term, right? So like getting your, not taking risks is comfortable, right? Staying where you are is pleasurable, right? Oh, I don't have to take risks. I don't leave my comfort zone. I just kind of chill and Netflix and smoke a little weed and blah, 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 all this. Yeah. Like that's pretty good life. I'm getting my good, nice old salary check and life is just good. But guess what? down the line, down the road, you're gonna be like, I hate these meetings.
Yeah.
Why is my salary increasing by only $50 this
But
year?
then, if your lifestyle is like that, you have no single reason to complain about that you want to change stuff, because your whole daily lifestyle doesn't comply with what you want. Like, you're basically saying, I want something else, but on a daily basis, you're not acting like you want something else. You're just chilling, smoking weed. So if you're then complaining about, oh, I want a different job, I want to earn more, then like take action. Like, I really hate it when people are saying, oh, I wish I really have this, or I want to go for this. And then you ask them, okay, what have you done to go towards the direction? And they've done nothing. Like, what else do they expect? Like, people give it to them, like, here, man, here's your new job, your new company.
It's this discrepancy between the difference between the words you say and your actions. Because I think it was like Buddhist philosophy, they say that you can be at peace only when your thoughts, your words, and your actions are aligned. So if you have one kind of thoughts, right, and then you say the words, but your actions are different, you're not aligned. You're not at peace with yourself. You're not at peace with this world. So you need to align your behavior and your actions with the thoughts and the words that you're saying.
Yeah, like I really hate it when people say specific things, and you just know it's bullshit, because you know their track record, you know what they've done in the past, and they're like, yeah, now it's really different. Like, I had it so much with people, and a couple months later, you ask them, and they forget about like their new plans, you know.
Yeah,
But
it's easier and more comfortable to stay where you are than it is. Change is painful.
Yeah.
Changing is not nice. No one likes to change.
Pain is important because you often learn, like you develop. Like, if you don't experience pain, like, you're basically not moving forward, in my opinion. Like,
but that's counterintuitive. That pain is nice.
Yeah,
because pain is not nice. To fall in love with pain, that's counterintuitive, and that's when you know that that's where the growth happens.
Yeah, but it's also just how you view it. Like, if you start your company and things don't go as planned, like, is that like pain, or is it like something that just happened and let's fix this new challenge, you know? So it's also how you look at it yourself. Are you like always thinking like you're the victim, or are you like getting more creative and accepting it as a challenge and just like defeat it and go to the next one, you know?
How did you fall in love with pain?
I don't know. It's just how I am as a person. But it's the thing with the whole, like, the world right now. It's so comfortable. Like, we were talking in Dubai. Like, we were eating out every day. We had a good time. Lovely weather.
Yeah.
Of course, we did a lot of work. But I needed to work out almost every morning because it was just getting too comfortable. I just need to break a sweat, get my body moving, instead of like staying at home nicely, eating dinner. Like, I don't know. I just like to be exhausted and feel like I've done something. And it's the easiest way to feel that way, like to do something physically, for me. I don't know. It's just a process how I am. I don't like to be I can be lazy. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
So it sounds to me that you're saying that a good entry point into falling in love with pain is to first put yourself into pain physically. But by the way, not like, harmful pain.
Just get
We're talking about
just
get
work
exhausted,
out, get your heart beating up, like you don't like get like a good workout in. And everyone that's done a good workout, same with you. If you've been to a nice yoga session, you feel amazing afterwards.
Oh, you saw me.
Yeah, but that's like but that's the thing. Like, you go through immense pain. Like, yoga is fucking difficult. Same with other sports. It's immense pain. You're getting exhausted. You can't go anymore. But why do you feel after those sessions like you're at the top of the world? Why is that?
Because it feels so good. The hormones, it's like you did the hard thing, man.
That's the thing with everything. You went through the pain, you overcome it, and you became a better person, and you feel good about yourself. And that's also with business.
Yeah. It's the anticipation of what's to come. By the way, remember Dopamine Nation?
That's in there,
right? People get the whole dopamine now wrong. Like, there's this great book, it's called Dopamine Nation. And I can't remember the author now, but I recommend it to Ron and we both read it. But it was like, people get it wrong. People think that like you get dopamine when you do something, but actually dopamine releases in anticipation of the thing. So like you don't get dopamine when you work out. Working out sucks. Obviously, you can fall in love with it, right? And people like, I enjoy and stuff. But in the beginning stages, you need to anticipate the reward. You need to anticipate the feeling good after you have done your workout or whatever the challenging thing is.
Yeah, but I also have that with like materialistic stuff. Like, for example, when we rented the car in Spain, oh yeah, we're gonna rent a nice car and amazing, and we're gonna do this and this, drive there. We had the car for like 15 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, it's a nice car, but yeah, what now? You know, it's the same.
That was a crazy feeling.
Yeah, but you get used to it, and it's oftentimes the anticipation towards what you're going to do than indeed like owning the car the whole time.
And then you sit in it and you're like, okay, it feels nice, it sounds nice, it looks nice, but I feel no different at all.
I have the same now with selling my company, because it's been like a 6-month process. I already like had so many thoughts of like, oh, when I sell my company, I'm gonna do this and this and this and blah blah. And now I signed the contract, and I was like, yeah, what now?
And then you sit by yourself in the room and you think, okay, so I just sold the company, I just signed it.
Now nothing changed. And I think that's often like what a lot of wealthy people say it as well. Like, money can buy happiness. And of course, if you can pay your bills and you don't have stress about money, that's really nice. But after that, you just need a challenge or something in your life that why you want to stand up in the morning. You know, that's even more important than like how much money you're making.
Yeah. They say that money solves money problems, but it doesn't necessarily affect happiness. Like, obviously, I'm not in a position yet to
me neither
to talk about that, because I mean, we haven't made enough money to be in a position where like, oh yeah, you know, whatever. But as well, like you said, like you were in the process of the 6 months. It's not like it's very, very rarely that it's like, you know, one day you are like rich and one day you are poor, right? Unless you build some crazy startup and you sell it and you had zero and then you have like $1 billion, right? That's rare.
Yeah, very rare.
For most of us, for like the majority of everybody, it's a slow process. And you know how like in movies, right? The classical plots is that the character, right? This character, he has a desire, okay, and then he goes after that desire. But as he's going on his journey, he meets an obstacle. And then his whole life goes down. Everything goes down. Everything is bad, right? Yeah, hero's journey. And then as he overcomes the obstacle, he comes out on the other side. He gets what he wants, but he realizes that he's now has a different perspective on things. He sees things differently. So it's the same thing here. Like I talk about this example. I think I told you about this as well. Like, I started to go to the gym long ago because I wanted to get big and I wanted to have muscles and all this, right? And so my kind of obstacle was that I got hernias in my back because I was lifting, you know, heavy weights with a bad technique, and I injured myself, right? This is now for life. Now, then everything went down. I was on crutches, you know, I couldn't walk properly.
Which exercise did you do? Fucking deadlift?
I was doing like, I remember I was doing like dumbbell bench press.
You hurt your back.
And I took way too heavy, and then I heard something like in my back
ego
like that.
Lifting.
Yeah, and ego lift. Yeah, but I was like 16 or 15 or something. You know, I didn't know anything better, and and then when I overcame that, you know, I came out on the other side. I got to be in a very, very like big muscular shape, right? For my proportions, and I didn't do any like anabolics or steroids or anything like that, but I remember very clearly, I was in Bali my first time, and I was like the biggest guy on the beach. Like, I was just eating a lot, and I was just very big. And I remember thinking like, I don't feel comfortable. I really don't feel comfortable. I just want to be just people kind of commenting on like, oh, like you're so muscular, you're so big. Like I didn't like that attention at all. It was so weird. So then I realized I don't want this. I just want to live pain-free, because that injury has showed me that it's much more important to be paying free rather than to be the biggest guy on the beach.
Of course.
And I think the same thing Steve Jobs said was like, I don't want to be the richest man in the graveyard.
Yeah. Yeah, but it makes sense. Like, it's like your opinions change as well. Like, if you would ask me when I was 18, like, if you are an entrepreneur, how do you see like how would you see yourself as the best entrepreneur? Like, when do you think you've made it? Then I would say like a big office with people, a nice car, a house, like all the typical stuff. But now I'm like, I want to have everything online. I want to be able to be flexible and move everywhere I want. So things change over time as well. And that's good because it means you're changing as a person, you're learning.
Yeah, you want to be lean. I like that.
Yeah.
Lean business is the best business. We are working with this guy, William, and he's like, yeah, I just did $341,000 in January with 88% with an 88% profit margin. We just have 2 people in the business. And we're like, dude, that's insane.
Yeah, but like oftentimes once you're like in the grind, you sometimes maybe forget like, yeah, like where do you want to go? Like, how do you want to design your life? And is the thing you're working on, is it still contributing to how you want to fill in your life? Sometimes business also takes over. Like you will get dragged in. And before you know it, you have an office. Before you know it, you have fixed employees and you're stuck.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to be clear about what you want. I talked about this with my girlfriend the other day as well. I'm like, do you like, a lot of times I feel like people are going into careers because, and by the way, I did this as well. You go after the money.
Of course.
You hear people say, I'm going to do this because there is money. I'm going to do this because there is more money. Oh, should I be a musician or should I be a data scientist? I think I should be a data scientist because there's more money. But then you look at the behavior of the person and he spends like 3 hours playing the piano.
Yeah.
Or something like,
that's true.
You know, you should do the thing. Obviously, you shouldn't just sit down and play the piano, but you should figure out how to, like what Ty said, how to make the piano the thing that fuels everything.
Yeah, but like that's a very difficult, like the creative sector. If you're in a creative business, like if you're like an artist or like how do you call it? Like if you make paintings, like if you're a painter, an artist, blah blah, those, or like a movie director. Like those
That's extremely
jobs
hard.
are so difficult to make money with.
Yeah.
Like you need to really
because the competition is so hard as well.
Also, but it's all about connections, and of course you need to have the budget because it's crazy expensive to make a movie. So you need to find investors.
Yeah. And also like it's about being that 0.0001%, bro. Like, do you really want to bet?
Yeah.
Do you really want to bet that you're going to be the next Kendrick Lamar or you're going to be the next Kanye West? Like, come on. Leave that for others.
Yeah,
just be like...
It also comes with a price. Like, if you're famous at that level. Like, I don't know much about Kanye West, but I think he's going kind of crazy sometimes, right? So, but like...
Yeah, but he's also... Kanye is also a great marketer. Don't forget. He might seem cuckoo to the world, but he's probably sitting there with 12 advisors. Okay, how can we make this even more crazy?
I don't know shit about this, by the way. So I'm not gonna say anything what he did say.
Me too. I don't know. I don't follow the.
But in the end, you need to be maybe careful what you wish for, because often things come with a price. Like it's the same with starting a business. Like oftentimes at the beginning, you don't have much free time. So that's also a part about it, because you're developing yourself. You're trying to find what's the right business model for you. And it takes a lot of time as well. Like a lot of people want to have their own business to be free and to not work 40 hours a week. But in the beginning, you're probably working more than that. So it comes with the price.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. There's a great book. It's called EMyth Revisited. And the author basically goes into, he does like a research, like in the field. Why do 99% of the businesses fail? Right? And the reason is because when people try to open up a business, this is how the case goes. This is what he illustrates in the book. People work, let's say, as a mechanic in a car shop, okay? And so then, they are the mechanic who is doing the daily work of, fixing the cars, right? and then they become the best mechanic in that car shop, whatever. And then they think to themselves, man, I should have my own mechanic shop. Like, I'll be so much better than this, this owner guy, because he doesn't even know how to fix a car. I do all the work, and he's just sitting there in his office, doing nothing. Cool. That's a story that many people tell themselves. They go out, they start the mechanic shop, and then guess what happens? They fail miserably, because over a sudden, now they need to know, okay, which company are you opening? Are you a sole proprietor? Are you an LLC? Are you a partnership? Blah, blah, blah. You got to file paperwork. Now you got to have the identification company number.
Rent stuff. You need to hire maybe new people, and it's a lot of shit.
Capital, risk. HR, people management, risk. Now you have, you need to have an accountant who is going to, do all the accounting. Then it's like,
then you get like an employee who gets sick. You need to continue paying him while he can't work. Like, that's also some difficult shit here.
So like, don't be ignorant thinking that business is easy. Business is not easy, and there's a reason why, like, it's difficult. But remember, difficult is what makes it great.
Yeah.
So if you want to be great, then you should do hard things. If you just want to be mediocre, then keep being mediocre.
I agree. Or carefully pick what you're getting yourself into. Like, for example, starting a YouTube business is pretty lean and simple. Like, you don't have.
Ron, I was thinking about going into the newspaper business right now. What do you think?
It's best. It's increasing. It's getting more and more popular.
The market share is great. Yeah, but at the same time, Jeff Bezos bought the New York Times, or the Washington Post, sorry.
Yeah, it could be, but like, you can't compare that, because he has such an ecosystem going on. He probably buys something that the New York Post has, maybe some IP that he can use in a different company, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. 100%. So, good podcast.
Yeah, let's wrap it up here. 42 minutes or 41 minutes.
Cool. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes.
Thank you.
Ciao.
See you next week. Bye.